What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Sieben, and today we're going to be doing a video about COVID-19. What are some of the things that I'm doing to save and invest through these times? Some tips and tricks on what you can be doing to either start saving and investing or continue to, and actually take advantage of this time when the markets are low and down and learn how to invest properly so that when this whole thing is over, we will all be financially ahead of the game and we won't be stressed financially. So let's get into it. If you're super unsure what to do with your money in these uncertain times when COVID-19 is kind of seeming to be at its worst, not knowing what's going to go on day after day, what I would recommend is first, make sure you have savings to fall back on. If God forbid, if anything is to happen, you have a little bit of a nest egg. The second thing would be to invest into long-term strategies. This is where I put most of my money once I'm able to do the savings that are necessary for emergency situations. And then third, get a little risky with your investments. A very small portion, maybe 10% of what you're comfortable investing or what you're going to be investing, go into something more risky. So pick a tech stock that you think is going to do really well, or maybe buy some cryptocurrency or something like that, because right now is a fantastic time. The markets are seeming to be at their very lowest or coming near to for a long time, and things are almost only going to get better from here. So if you take a shot in the dark with a couple different things and they skyrocket like we've seen with some different tech stocks, cryptocurrencies, and things like that, you can stand to make a lot of money. And then at the end of the day, if you do lose that, you're about 10% in. It definitely shouldn't be anything to worry about. And just having a little bit of risk involved there could take you a long way. So unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably noticed that since COVID-19 has started and really hit North America, that our markets have taken a deep dive. Whether you're invested in real estate or the stock market or cryptocurrency, whatever it is, value of everything is dropping right now. There's a lot of hysteria out there. A lot of the big time sellers or big time holders are selling on the way down. So our markets are extremely low right now. So the way that I look at it is actually an opportunity. And what do I mean by that? Right now is the best opportunity for people who have cash on hand to be able to find a position in the market and to be able to take advantage of the low interest rates that are out there right now, but also the low value of assets, and to be able to really come out on the other side of this with a really good, strong position. And then as the markets come back, which they will, once this whole thing blows over, your assets are now going to have a ton of value. What does that mean for the average person, and how exactly can you get involved? The first thing that I always say, and I'm a very strong believer in, is first you should have savings before you can start thinking about investing. Having savings will mean that when there's economic uncertainty, you will be safe and you will be covered. A lot of people right now are getting laid off with store closures and, again, economic uncertainty. It's just a reality. So what I suggest is to people have 3 to 6 months of savings just sitting there. And what I like to do is utilize smart savings accounts. So you can find savings accounts that will actually pay you interest just to have your money sit there. So it's not actually invested in anything. You can pull it out at any time, but they will pay you interest for using their services to have money sit in there. The service that I use for this is Wealthsimple. They have a fantastic smart savings account, and they will actually pay you interest just to park your money there. So a lot of other banks and things like that generally will either charge you fees or pay you very low interest rates. So Wealthsimple is the one that I use, and it's actually the one that I've seen the best luck with. Whether it's Wealthsimple smart savings account or it's another savings account, I strongly recommend have 3 to 6 months of savings set aside. So just how do you determine what 3 to 6 months is? What you're gonna do is you're gonna sit down. If you haven't already done this, you're gonna create a budget or an idea in your mind at the very least of how much money goes out of your account every single month. So you sit down and you look at everything that's your mortgage payments, your car insurance, your groceries, utility bills, all those kinds of things. Even put an average for entertainment and things like that for extra spending, and then come up with a number. So if that number is $2,000, $3,000, whatever it is, take that number and then now multiply it by anywhere between 3 and 6 months, depending on kind of how comfortable you want to be. And you want to have that much money set aside, sitting there waiting for you. Now, if you're not quite at a position where you can do that, I strongly recommend that you still do this budget. Figure out exactly what you need to spend every single month to maintain, your comfortable lifestyle, or if you have to take a couple of things out versus your income to be able to start saving some money. This is a great time to do so. A lot of us aren't out and about, and it's a lot easier to do that right now. So come up with this number versus your income. See how much money you need to save to get to this 3 to 6 month emergency fund, and then take that money and put it aside. Put it in a smart savings account that pays you a little bit of interest. You're not going to make a lot of money off of this, but then when it does come to time where your income's not coming in, or really anything happens, you can become sick, you can have to take care of a family member, whatever it may be, you have that money sitting there set aside and you're safe. Now you have 3 to 6 months sitting there of savings. Now you can really start thinking about starting to invest. So for people who've never invested before, you're kind of saying, what's the best thing for me to do, where to start? I just want to show you here what I do and what's working for me, and one really good outlet, because at the end of the day, I've tried a few different things and this is really just what's worked best for me. So I'm going to pop it up on my screen right here. This is actually my view of Wealthsimple. So you can see here what my portfolio is. I have 80% equity, 20% fixed income. So you go through this when you first make an account. They're going to ask you what kind of theme that you'd like and what kind of risk level. So first we'll go into the themes and see a couple of the themes that are available through them. So you can either do a standard theme, socially responsible investing. So if you go in here, invest mostly in low carbon, clean tech, or sustainable growth. They have a little bit of higher fees, but you can rest assured that you're being socially responsible. So that's kind of cool. And then they also have halal, simple, low-cost way to invest in companies that comply with Islamic principles. So if that's something of interest to you, that option is also there. I'm in a standard account right now, so that's kind of where I'm at. And then you look at risk level. So between theme and risk level, it will determine where your investments are held. So if we go in here to risk level, you can go anywhere from 1 all the way up to 10 being the most risky. So I'm set at an 8 right now. And then these are what my portfolio holdings are. So these are a couple of really, really large companies that you can actually go and you can buy their ETFs yourself. If you're comfortable with doing that. I myself like to use the service. I don't like to worry about it. I'm not a huge fan of picking individual stocks and taking that responsibility. So I like to use this. They have me in Vanguard Group Total Stock Market ETF. So this will actually index the literal entire stock market, and based on its performance and value, 20% of my funds will go there. I have a BlackRock Canada iShares index. I have a BTC iShares, a BlackRock S&P TSX. So this one actually looks at the S&P 500 and the Toronto Stock Exchange. And that's an index fund based on a number of things that are held in there. And then more of the safe fixed income holdings. I have a Bank of Montreal Long Federal Bond Index. 15% of my allocation is there. And then a McKinsey US TIPS Index. So it's a Canadian hedged fund. So that's where everything sits. Super easy. These, again, are ETFs that you can find on your own if you're out looking. But Wealthsimple does it all for you. So I literally went on here and I picked a theme. I picked my risk level. I'm a little bit riskier with my funds. This is what's in my TFSA right now. And they went ahead and invested it for you. It's super easy, super simple to understand. I used Wealthsimple. This can work for any other investing platform. There are many, many out there. This is just the one that I use. The reason that I really love a service like Wealthsimple is because they just make it so easy, accessible, and just easy to understand versus a lot of other methods that I've tried. So in the past, I have tried picking individual stocks. I have tried sitting down with an investment broker at my bank and investing in mutual funds and sitting on the other side of that desk, not really understanding what they're saying, not really knowing what's going on, where my money's going, and really feeling the inability to ask questions and understand what was going on with my money. And that gave me a level of uncertainty and uncomfortability that I wasn't okay with. With Wealthsimple, it's very easy. Like you saw, you can log in, see exactly where your money is at all times. You can do a little research on where these things go. And then by changing your theme and your risk level, you can alter where your money sits and you can check in at all times, which is a huge bonus. Service like this is really fantastic for beginners because you can just log on, you can set your risk tolerance, you can put how much money you want to put in there, and then it will do the rest for you. And the third thing that I'd like to talk about is riskier investments. So there are a number of things. I'm not going to steer you towards any one of particular, but large things like tech stocks, Amazon and Apple and Microsoft are always good. They're obviously down right now. Oil and gas, any one of the larger companies that are taking a huge hit are probably going to come back at some point. Or if you wanted to go to cryptocurrency, if you're looking at a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, any of those, they're all down right now. And as things smooth out, they are going to come back up. So those can be some of the risky investments. Like I mentioned, I wouldn't do maybe more than 10 or 15% of what you're investing into something risky like that. You do bear to make quite a lot of money off of that. So that's something that I'm going to be doing in 2020. And I'm going to be exposing myself to as the markets are as low as they are. All right, guys, so I've shared with you the 3 different things that I'm doing to deal with COVID-19 and how I'm investing in 2020. Drop down below in the comments what your guys' plan or strategy is, or what you'd want to see some videos a little bit more in depth on as we get through the year here together. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button. Always helps out the YouTube algorithm. It'll help point more towards my channel and my videos so we can grow this channel and I can get you guys more helpful content out. And as well, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell, and that way you'll get notified every single time I put out a video. All right, so have a good day, guys.